Hi there, welcome to the final lesson of the Fire Safety Training course. In the last lesson, we discussed how you could take necessary precautions against fires. We also learned about safety signs. In this last lesson, you'll learn about evacuation strategies and PEEPs. So, let's get right to it.
When it comes to evacuating staff safely, there are 5 main strategies. These are: simultaneous evacuation. All people on the premises will walk through the escape routes in a calm and orderly fashion, obeying any instructions the fire warden gives them, and then assemble at a specific designated point. Vertical phased evacuation. This method is more typical among complex buildings with several floors. Those at the most risk are evacuated first, while others have to wait. Horizontal phased evacuation. This method is similar to vertical, in that it involves moving those most at risk first. However, it's used in premises like hospitals or care homes, and it allows people to be moved to different, safer rooms where treatments can continue. Staff evacuation or silent alarm. This strategy is used in situations where it's undesirable to set off a general alarm, as it risks creating panic when there are large numbers of untrained people in the building. For example, cinemas, shopping centres, etc. Staff receive a silent notification of a fire, usually through a pager, and they calmly organise a phased evacuation. Stay in place. In certain circumstances, the occupants of a building may stay put in order to let the fire brigade come in to deal with the fire. This is a high-risk strategy. However, it may be necessary for some circumstances, for example, in a hospital with patients on life support. Now let's talk about PEEPs.
You might be asking, what in the world is a PEEP? Well, PEEPs, or Personal Emergency Evacuation Plans, are specific fire safety evacuation plans that are designed for specific individuals who may not be able to make use of the normal means of emergency evacuation without assistance. The development of such plans is primarily the responsibility of the employer, or the first responsible person. However, the fire wardens should assist in the development of these plans. So, who may need a PEEP? Under the Health and Safety at Work Act 1974 and the Equality Act 2010, workplaces of all kinds are required by law to provide reasonable adjustments to their workplace if anyone requires it for safety reasons.
People who are in need of a PEEP may be disabled individuals or impaired individuals. This can include issues related to mobility, sight, cognition, or hearing. Expectant mothers or nursing mothers. Anyone with good reason to not be familiar with the premises or evacuation procedures. For example, part-time staff, new employees, or visitors. Anyone working in an area where the fire alarm is inaudible. Those who cannot understand the fire safety information. For example, if English is not their first language. Those on higher floors or parts of the building that are more complex to navigate. People with temporary injuries. For example, a broken leg. Anyone with special care needs. For example, the residents of a care home. A PEEP should contain information about the specific safety measures that need to be used in case of a fire for specific people. This could include the following: visual alarms, for those hard of hearing. Vibrating pagers, for those hard of hearing or in isolated parts of the building. Braille signs, audio alarms or tapes, or large print, for those with visual impairments. Assistance from a designated person, sometimes known as a buddy system. Special arrangements, ramps, firefighting lifts, evacuation chairs.
Be sure to communicate a PEEP directly with the person it concerns.
For the fire evacuation itself, there are several important steps to make it safe and successful. While some of these vary based on the specific evacuation strategy your workplace uses, some general guidelines are often the same, such as: obey the instructions of your fire warden. Leave all personal belongings in the building. Move in the correct order to your nearest assembly point. Inform the fire warden or other apt authority of any obstructions or other problems. Obey the instructions of any firefighting personnel once outside.
Fire drills must also be treated with the same level of severity and concern as a real fire. To not do so is to fail to understand the purpose of the fire drill. It's to record the fire safety procedure's success, evaluate their effectiveness, and improve upon them where necessary.
Once you have evacuated the building, fire safety staff such as fire wardens could well be asking you a variety of questions about the nature of the fire safety situation. Be sure to give them your full cooperation to ensure that the systems used to keep you safe can be effectively monitored.
That's all for this lesson. With that, this course comes to a close. We have covered in this course topics such as the importance of fire safety, safely combating a deadly fire without getting injured, risk assessments, proper housekeeping, using fire extinguishers, and evacuation strategies, to name a few. We believe that learning should be informative and fun at the same time, and we trust that you had a great time watching and learning about fire safety training at work. We'll see you soon in another course. Bye-bye.